There's a little known secret in the options trading world. Many people don't talk about it, but secretly for years, people have been undercover making hundreds of thousands of dollars every single year doing this thing. Of course, I'm talking about selling options. Literally, it is such a shock to me that when I started talking about this, I started going live on social media. There will be people in my comments, and I'll put some examples here from the screenshots I took, where they'll say, "Hey, I've been doing that for 6 months. I made 120,000 doing this in the last 6 months." Or, "Hey, yes, this is how I make an extra $500,000 a year." All through the art of selling options. But as a beginner, it might be intimidating. And though I have videos on this channel for you, I want to share with you one of the easiest, simplest ways you can make at least $5,000 a month selling options as a brand new beginner. Let's get into it. When we talk about selling puts, what it actually is collateral or asset-based cash flow. And that's a really fancy way to say you're pretty much putting your money, your cash in the market as an asset or collateral to make trades. And when you do that, you can sell options with your cash as collateral and get paid premium, which is cash in itself. Just like in an insurance company, if you're insuring a car, let's say you want to insure a Mustang, you sell insurance to the Mustang owner. They pay you monthly, and you promise to fix their car or fix their paint job if anything happens to their car. In order to do that, you have to have cash set aside, right? Just because you have that cash set aside, you can actually start an insurance company and get paid monthly, even if nothing happens to the car. That is the point of insurance. And people are willing to pay it for several reasons. And I will get to those reasons in a second. But because they're willing to pay it, you can actually create an insurance company in the stock market where you're getting paid premium just for having cash in your brokerage. That's why it's called a cash secured put. You're selling puts, and what's securing that put is your cash. It's almost like having an ATM because you're actually printing cash based on the amount of capital you already have. The typical safe range to see is about 1 to 2% a week. You can make about 1 to 2% a week on your money relatively safely if you know what you're doing. And that might not seem to a lot for you if you're a beginner, but it makes a huge difference because if you can get a certain number of cash, whether you're getting funding, whether you're using lines of credit, whether you're using life insurance policies, whether you're using somebody else's money, if you can get a certain level of cash, you can almost guarantee and predict your income almost because let's say, for example, you have 100K in your account and you're making 1 to 2% a week. So let's just call it 1.5% a week. I'm going to put on my calculator here and let's do that times a month. That means you're making, I did that times 4, so you're making 6% a month. That means on 100K, you're considerably making 6K a month in cash flow. So when I said 5 in this video, I really mean you can generate 6K in cash actually selling cash secured puts with 100K balance. And you can do the math from there. If you have 200K, you can make 12K a month doing this. If you have 300K, you can make 18K a month doing this, and so on and so forth. This is a far cry from what they've told us if you're a millennial in retirement, that to generate about 12K in cash flow every single month as a millennial, your portfolio balance needs to be $3.5 million. Well, that's the thing with knowledge. Knowledge accelerates income. With knowledge, you can make the same amount of cash flow with 200K that somebody without knowledge makes with 3.5 million. You need literally 15x less cash to make the same money because of the knowledge gap. What I'm showing you guys here is how to actually turn your knowledge into income. What we pretty much do is that we're selling puts to actually guarantee and generate this income. And the reason people sell insurance, or the reason why we're able to sell insurance and people buy it, is for 4 reasons. People buy options contracts, number 1, for multiplication. They're trying to multiply their own money. They're pretty much placing a directional trade or directional bet that the market is going to go a certain way. They're willing to pay that premium. We're the ones selling it to them. Number two, somebody is buying insurance on their position. Just like the example of the Mustang, if somebody has $100,000 in Apple stock, they're going to be willing to give up $1,000 to insure that money. That $1,000 premium, it goes to us. And we'll happily sell you the insurance premium on that. Because guess what? If Apple drops to the price that we like, we'd love to buy it anyways. Number three, hedging. A good way people do this is they will usually hedge the overall market, like the S&P 500, by buying puts on it. And guess what? We'll be happy to oblige by selling it to them. And the fourth reason people buy and sell options is for cash flow. They're buying because they want to eventually multiply it and generate cash from it. We're selling because we're making cash flow from it. These are benefits of actually using options in your trading strategy. Well, all these reasons, whichever reason somebody's doing it for, it do not matter to us. The beautiful part about the stock market is we're not dealing person to person. There's millions of people doing transactions. We can easily get filled on our positions. We can sell and we can get our cash. Now that you understand why this is being done, let's actually go more importantly to how you actually do this. How it actually works is, let's say Apple is at $160 a share and you're willing to buy it at $130 a share. So you sell puts for a strike price of $130 a share. And when you sell those puts for a strike price of $130 a share, they're going to pay you premium. A couple specifics you need to understand here. Specific number one, because in the world of options, everything works times 100. For the strike price of 130, you need to have the ability to buy 100 of those shares and have that cash in your account. It's like saying you need the full price of the Mustang in your account in order to sell insurance on the Mustang. Well, in this case, that means you need 13L1 at the strike price of 130 over here. So $130 times 100 is 13,000. With 13,000, you can sell one options contract, and usually you would get 1 to 2% a week on your money in this. So with 13,000, you'll probably make somewhere around $200 a week, a beautiful return on just having cash in your pocket. But that's only if you're selling one. If you had 100 grand, like I was showing you, now you get to a point where you're making $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 on your money. So that's how cash secured puts work. You put the cash to cover the position in your account, which whatever strike price that you're using times 100. Then after that, you then sell the put at an expiration date that's close. Let's say 1 week out, 2 weeks out. And then after you do that, you make money, you collect that premium immediately and put that money in your pocket. Remember, guys, there are 5 pieces of an options trade. Number one, the ticker, the actual stock you're trading. Number two, the expiration date, the time on the contract itself. Number three, the strike price, what agreed upon price you are choosing for this contract. Number four, the directional instrument, I call it. Either you're doing calls or puts. And number five, the premium. So when you're selling, this is the information we use to execute our trade. If you want to learn a little bit more about these 5 things, comment basics below and I'll do a whole training on just the anatomy of an options contract. That'll be my next video. But the video I dropped before that, the one I dropped a few days ago, actually I spent about 5-10 minutes explaining each part of this for buying. Well, for selling, it's a little bit different, but essentially the same. So I'll definitely go and check that out. But what you want to do now is when you're selling cash secured puts to make that $5,000 a month, you choose a ticker, the stock you're going to choose, the expiration date. I like shorter expiration dates, usually a week, 2 max, because it maximizes my cash flow and puts little risk on me because time works in my favor. Strike price, obviously, I choose my strike price based on the delta. I like 0.30 delta or below when I'm selling cash secured puts. If you want to learn all about delta, I did a video called Options Greeks. I would definitely watch and check that out. Number 4, calls and puts. This is called a cash secured put. So when we're selling, obviously we're selling puts, and the premium is the money we're going to collect for taking on this trade. So for perfect example, if I literally go to Thinkorswim and I sell a options contract on Apple, the premium is going to be there, and all I have to do is go ahead and buy it. And actually, let me do this right now. Let me actually Google Tesla options chain. So I can show you guys an example of if I was selling an options contract, what that will mean, and the 5 parts of this. So let's say this contract expires September 19th. I'm recording this on September 18th, literally a day before. So this is the expiration date. Tesla is the ticker. TSLA is the ticker. The strike price, you see strike here, is the price we're going to choose. And then we want to do puts. So we want to go to the put side of this, and I'm going to sell something. So let's say right now Tesla is at 420. Let's say I sell this contract for tomorrow at the 405 strike. For selling this and only being in this trade for 1 day, I'm going to make $113. That might seem small, but have you ever found money on the floor and say, oh, that's an extra $20 or that's an extra $50? Imagine finding an extra $100 on the floor for a 1 day trade. Well, that's essentially what this is. This is the premium right here that we're going to get paid. And it says $1.13. But remember, in the world of options, everything is times 100. So we're really going to make $113. Now, this is not the best stock to do for this. I just put this up as a random example, so you can see how much you would actually make. But what I want you guys to really pay attention to is just the 5 parts of the options contract there I mentioned and I showed you guys. The ticker, Tesla, the expiration was for this week. The strike price was about 405, I believe. And we were selling puts, and the premium we were going to collect on that was $113. Now, if you want to make your selling more profitable, you want to pick stocks that give you the most bang for your buck. So things that have leverage ETFs is a good one to do. But as a beginner, I might not start there. For safety, I will start with ETFs like SOXL or IWM and things of that nature, because they avoid single stock risk, or BITX, which is the ETF for Bitcoin. They avoid single stock risk and give you a higher likelihood of keeping your profits when you're selling cash secured puts. So that's the simple way to make $5,000 a month that I can show you. If you guys have any questions or you want me to go more in depth in any part of this video, comment below and let me know. I'm making these videos for you, not for chats. Knock, knock, point interruption. Listen, I usually don't do this, but I feel like it's super important to actually share this with you. One of the secrets to my wealth or success in business, somebody who's made millions online and in life, is literally my relationship with God. The market is a very funny place, right? On top of the education, on top of the learning, there's a secret ingredient that I feel like is super important, and that's favor and wisdom from God. So I'd like to invite you into a personal relationship with God right now. If you don't have one, all you have to do is pray a simple prayer. Say, God, thank you for dying for my sins. I believe in you. I believe in my heart, and I confess with my mouth that you are God. And I ask you to guide me and lead me in all things around my life. So if you said that prayer, just type an amen below and reach out to me. You can email me for more resources and I can send you some more stuff. Okay, guys, back to the regularly scheduled content.